and we are doing an experimental 2-week thing. And so if you guys like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you leave comments. I'd love to see you here in the live. That way we can do live Q&A. Um, so right now, for you guys wondering where I'm at, I'm in Arizona. For those of you that are new here, welcome. I am Friar Tuck, and I am a digital homesteader. So, anyways, what we're going to get into tonight is we're going to start talking about, hey, what's up, occult? We're going to start talking about the Trump tariffs. I did kind of like a connect the dots video today, but this is a compilation of knowledge that I've acquired over the last couple of months. And so it started with the whole thing about Greenland, and it was like, okay, people think Greenland is something like it, it's I don't know, it was a joke or something like that. Trump has a different angle. Well, the thing is that Trump's different angle was that if you've and this is we've known this for the last couple of years, and this area has been contended since Trump's first presidency, which is the northern route, but it has melted enough to where they don't even need the icebreakers very much anymore, and you can just go through 80-90% of it before you actually need any type of icebreaker, because the polar ice caps have melted that much to where it has opened up a whole northern route, so you don't have to go through the Panama Canal. Well, what does that do to American power? What that does to American power is that we no longer have control of the shipping lanes, which then we can therefore claim that we have the right to protect those shipping lanes. Therefore, we have the rest of the world pay fealty to us for everything that they're for this benefit of our protection along the way. In a lot of the ways, it's like how the Knights Templar did it during the Crusades. Is they would take your money, and this is kind of how they got into banking. So they would take your money and give you a encrypted note that would be decrypted when you wanted to go take money out, and then they would just give you a ledger, and they would actually do it on a stick. Or no, that was a different time. But and they would actually they give you a ledger, and in that way, if you came across barons and stuff like that, they couldn't take your money because they didn't have the encrypted thing. So that was a way of protection. And so this has been, what's up, Beth? So this has been something that the powers that be have used as a tool. Okay, so in the same way that we've had control over the shipping lanes to get from east to west because of the Panama Canal, because we were smart enough to get ahead of the game over 100 years ago. That has been our push for power. And now with with the northern route opening up, well, then that means that the Panama Canal is no longer needed, which means that the United States in our might is not really there anymore. We as Americans are telling ourselves that we're the sole superpower, but the funny thing is that the rest of the world does not think that we are the sole superpower anymore. And the thing is what's up, Chris? Nice to see you. What we do here, I mean, we could sit there and tout our own horn like we're narcissists or something, but as a society, we're being lied to. A lot of what Biden did in his presidency set a lot of this up. So this was starting to happen during the Trump presidency, where money was starting to leave the country for various reasons, and what he was trying to do was try and bring that money back. But see, now money isn't just leaving the country. Our American oligarchs are fleeing uh, 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 for the most part, or at least have another residence to get out of the United States. Now the oligarchs from other nations, because of what because of what Joe Biden did, therefore made everybody skeptical. If they're going to come and take your money, who says that they're not going to come and take your friend's money and your other friend's money and stuff like that? And so the rest of the world sees what America is doing, and with our politics, and kind of how bipolar we've become as a nation. And how we've had this whole internal strife about the whole woke agenda, that has been our complete distraction from our demise in power as a sole superpower. And that is, I think, what Trump is really doing with his tariffs. I think that there's a bigger game, because there's really nothing to be gained from doing tariffs the way that he's doing it, unless he's either trying to bring as much confrontation as possible up to and possibly leading to war, because now China is digging in their heels. China is sitting there saying, "Hey, look, you know what? We're gonna we're gonna sit here and we're gonna stand up to the United States." And so now all of a sudden you have the rising superpower starting to fight the falling superpower. I think it's called Thi- something Theodicles or something like that, Thucydides trap or something like that, where as our descent into no longer being the sole superpower, being a superpower, we are going to, as history says, we're going to do that one last ditch effort to not only reinvent ourselves but to reassert ourselves. And it's not until we reassert ourselves and get smacked down that we realize that we're no longer the ones running the show. And a lot of people, and see, Mo Gadot did a lot to kind of help me understand how the rest of the world is, because he's not only in technology, but he's an oligarch in his own country, um, and he's also on the forefront of AI. In order for us to be able to in order for us to be able to do this and to have a full-on transition and still remain competitive, all these jobs that are coming back are going to have to be automated, because it is too expensive to do business in the dollar, because when you're the top dog, everything you do is more expensive than doing it around the rest of the world. And so therefore the companies that survive will probably be the companies that are able to produce a quality product. And I think this is why Tesla is about to really make a big thing about with their new cell phone and tablet. I'm already starting to see advertisements for it, to where you can pre-order it, and it's $129 for the tablet, plus you get connection to Starlink. You also It's like $329 for the smartphone, and it's just as good as a Galaxy or a Galaxy or an iPhone, but it comes with Grok, and Apple can't get AI on it because they're having issues. But the thing is, the only way for us to remain competitive out on the rest of the world, to get the rest of the world to buy our goods because we are top dog, is that we're going to have to completely automate our workforce. And then what does that mean? So we're going to cut off our arms and our legs so that the rest of our body can survive. Like, what existence is that, really? I just think about it. Like, we're being led down a way. This is a no-win situation for us. As you know, we're going to keep doing it. China's going to keep doing it. But here's what most people forget to think about. Um, the Russians, when we said no more doing business with the Russians, well, we just started doing business through third parties that had connections to the Russians. But the Chinese basically took up whatever we weren't consuming, because they were able to get it. It was something to help out a neighbor. It's part of their alliance, and plus they both are the competing superpowers to be the next leader in a multipolar world, because both of them believe in a multipolar world where you have regional authority instead of global authority, like what we had under not only the Roman Empire but the British Empire, I think, and now the American Empire. We've reached out too far globally, and all we have left to export now is war and the military-industrial complex. And that's kind of really where we're at as a nation. We have nothing left to offer the world. And now that, because in order for us to survive, we would have to give up our um our status of being reserve currency and let somebody else do it, because the only way that we are able to economically uh, uh, become competitive is if we devalue our currency compared to the rest of to the reserve currency, which therefore gives us more competitive advantage. But here in the United States, that would mean we have super inflation. But the other thing is we've also have we have a lot of these foreigners that are refusing to buy our bonds, that used to buy our bonds. The Federal Reserve is becoming one of the biggest buyers of American bonds, and so nobody's buying them because we've pissed off the whole world. And whether we realize it or not, China, because every time we sit there and say, screw you, we won't do business with you, well, guess who brings them in with open arms? And now they've created their own little coalition. And we're going to be screwed in this situation, unfortunately. I think that this will be considered a huge blunder. And I think that if both sides keep escalating it, it will get to a point of military contention. We will go into some sort of kinetic war with what's going on with AI. And this is why AI is so important, because we're competing with the Chinese. Not only are they trying to rise to become the superpower, or the rest of the world really kind of considers them one of the superpowers. Um, and so therefore they have to, in order to be able to maintain their status and compete against us, the falling superpower, they have to win the AI race. And one of the things that we do really well here in the United States is technology. Now, as far as programmers go, old Eastern Bloc, I've met many developers. They say that those are some of the best. Those are even some of the best hackers in the world. They come from the Eastern Bloc, the Russian system. But as far as technology goes and hardware goes, the United States is one of the leaders, or has been up until recently, because now, like with Iran having the best drone technology in the world, and now getting hypersonic before the United States did, that was us dropping the ball. And every time something like that happens, it makes everybody sit there and go, oh, I guess these guys aren't as good as they claim to be. And so the rest of the world loses faith in us, and they will leave us and go to something better, that is not going to be contentious. So when we're creating enemies in our world, when we should be creating friends, because if we're creating friends, then we can have negotiations, and we can be mutually beneficial. But right now, what the United States is trying to do is assert its dominance to set itself up for power in the 21st century. Like the Afghan and Iraq war and 9/11 basically was the big slap in the face, to where the rest of the world started going, I wonder. And then in 2007, when we really opened up China, that's when China got loose, because we had the whole world under our thumb up until that point in time. Okay, so these tariffs are not going to work. If maybe 10 years ago they would have worked, but now, no, they won't work, because we no longer have the economic powerhouse. We're no longer the only guy on the block. You have to take what we give you and smile. Okay, and so therefore, just that's the way it is. But let's see what you guys have to say here. Oh wow. Okay, what's up, Occult? Howdy Rails. Good evening, DFH. Nice, Chris. Nice to see you. What's up, Beth? What's up, Occult? Okay, Chris. Okay, give the pretty desert dweller a like, folks. He deserves. He speaks the truth most of the time. So what? I lie some of the time. Trump is a good poker player. Nobody knows what the hell he is doing. Well, no, because we do know what he's doing. He said he was going to do this, Patriot. Um, that's the that he already put these signals in. He wants to reassert American dominance and make America great again. Okay. He wants to restore us back, and that's why he's doing so much within the federal government, because if he is able to make long-term changes, even the globe, this will set the globalists back 50, 100 years, let's say. Okay, it may set them back this much if he is successful domestically, but internationally, what his predecessors have done in the past have done so much to destroy the American reputation that there is no ability to be able to save it. And it has nothing to do with, oh, Trump's great, and art of war and stuff like that. You could send some of the best negotiators in the world, but when somebody's pissed off enough at you, and they're like, I'm done. Just think of yourself. Think of that time when you were so upset that you said, I'm done, I don't care, it doesn't matter what you say, there's nothing, you know, um there's nothing you can say that will fix or resolve this. And that's pretty much where the rest of the world is. What we did in Afghanistan, complete blunder. That was a complete screw up. What we did in Ukraine, complete screw up. What we did in Afghanistan and Iraq, complete screw up. We paraded around and pretended like we won something when we never even really won, and we never even had a clearly stated mission in half the time, anyways. Um, and when was the last time we've had anything where we could walk away and say that there was a success? What, Korea, World War II? It's been that long. Okay. So it's just it's been that long since America has had a really, really good stand. Everybody else has given us a good fight. Um, there's gonna come a time. So it's all about the money, boys. Yep, pretty much. I'll ask Grok what that is. Okay, the ultimate plutocracy. Things are going to get very good. I'm off to bed. It's late here night. All right, Dr. Benny Boom, nice to see you. Andra has AI drones with bombs in Ukraine. Yeah, but yeah, okay. The new currency will be Bitcoin, hopefully. No, no, Dr. Benny Boom. The United States, because you'll probably watch this. You'll probably watch this post. The United States. Um, uh, 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 well, no, not the United States. The World Bank had a meeting a couple of years ago to tell all the other central banks to move to their own CBDC. But here's the thing: they do not own the patent to blockchain. The blockchain is actually owned by Bitcoin, and so they either have to create their own, or I don't know. Okay, so I mean, I know very little about it, but I know what people have told me about it that know way more about it than I do. Okay, so I'm no longer I'm not an authority, but from what I understand is that blockchain is owned by Bitcoin because they were the ones that invented it. That's their technology. So everybody has to pay them royalties. And so that would mean even the Federal Reserve, the World Bank, the IMF would have to pay royalties unless they create their own blockchain. But the thing is there's certain things that are completely patented that they can't get around unless they do something completely different. Okay. Now with AI, they might have something a little bit better. Who knows? So let's see here. Okay. Ask Grok. Thanks, Chris. Okay. It's all about the money. Yeah. You will be pulling copper off your walls most likely. Probably. Um, no, here's the thing. In the long run, um, as long as he does not lead us into war, he's probably the best man for the job. When he will fail if he leads us into war. That's really what is concerning, because everybody's kind of getting oh, I see China didn't like it last time, and like I've told you, I've had issues with clients where I was like, you know what, I'll never, no, I'm not gonna, I won't let that happen again. And so then they want to come back and do business with you. You're like, okay, but we're gonna circumvent all the drama that you gave me, and I'm gonna give you double the price. And I think that that's the position that China is in at this point in time. Hi, Tug Sam. Hey, what's up, Invisible Man? So, um, but yeah, Sam's over there in the sun, I guess. Oh, it's kind of nice here in the shade with a little bit of a breeze. Uh, but just this is I think that this is really what this is about. I don't think. I mean, if you look at what's been said and you take that at face value, um, Trump made a very interesting statement today, that that China shouldn't spend money on its military and we shouldn't spend money on our military. So what is he saying that we should go under a global government? Um, that's a real question, because the way in which that statement was said and interpreted, especially if you take it on face value, um, that's something that you just I don't know. That kind of like piqued my attention when I heard that from Trump. in one of his news clips today. It's like, yeah, he's just like, yeah, we don't want them to take our money and spend it on military, and we don't want to spend on military. It's like, he's like, I don't want them to have a military, and I don't want us to have to spend on a military. So either you have to be do world peace, which what world peace where America is the sole superpower and can do whatever it wants and tell the world, like, when something goes bad, you need somebody to blame. Just blame it on the ugly stepchild. I mean, who wants to be in that situation? I mean, would you take that situation, especially if you were on the on the end of that beating stick? No, you probably wouldn't. And so, um, I think it's going to be a long time before we get a single world government, but I think that that's something that will end up happening probably within our lifetime. If you're over if you're under 45, you'll probably see it in your lifetime. I think it's something. I think that if we go into another world war, I think that will um uh you know mm, hold on a second. Once again, you're working hard every day. Uh, you can even call yourself a rock mover. Well, thank you very much, Beth. Um, Visible Man, you're the one that keeps touching me and my no. Silence is acceptance. Silence is acceptance there. Okay. But I don't know. It looks like we've got a few more people in here with this. What do you guys think? Okay, so last night we had the discussion. I said, okay, Samantha, come on, get over here. Come here. Sit. Come on, sit. Come on. You're being okay. With this whole sit with this whole get out of my stuff or look, stop now. You knows Samantha, go somewhere. Go. No. If you don't get out of there, leave it alone. Stop. Sorry guys. Stop. Okay, you got to go. Hold on a second, guys. No, stay. Samantha, come on. Under here. Now. Under here. Go. Go. All right. Sorry, she wanted to get into my cup and she was trying to put her nose somewhere where she shouldn't put it. So sorry about that, guys. But just now that I'm doing this whole news thing, okay, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, do you guys like it? Uh, I think if I can love you, dude, you got a sister. No, I don't. Well, actually, I do, but you wouldn't want to touch her. Mm, mm. I came in for the auto tune. Hey, what's up, G-Goat? Grab the popcorn, Tuck. It's gonna be a show. Um, okay. But anyways, what do you guys think of it? Do you guys like it? Do you not like it? Um, because I mean, I will probably do this like every night. I'll have because I the trending topics is kind of like there's always a day delay, so I can go and I can look into some of this stuff. But what I'm curious about is, do you like me doing these current events? Is this something with me doing my live streams in the mornings where I do work around a property and kind of show you what I'm doing and what I'm working on? Do you like that? Um, uh, and the fact that I'm doing current events. That's what I really want to know. What you guys truly think. So a cult, I got a yes. Um, okay, so Beth, okay, yes. All right, we got a one. All right. I've got Beth trained. Uh so but I just want to know if you guys actually thought it was worthwhile. I'm seeing at least in the live stream we're getting a few more people than we usually get. So that's pretty good because usually like there's 7 or 8 people here, so we could really grow this in. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think Okay, type 1 if you agree with this statement. Type 2 if you don't agree with this statement. Okay, moving forward, long form video, I will put 1 or 2 out a week. Okay. Um, well, no, I'm probably gonna have to put about 4 or 5 out a week. Well, no, because I don't know. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, I could do 3 a week on videos, and I could do a morning live stream only when I'm going to work. So some days like tomorrow, I got to go into town. So I guess we're going to do a walk and talk tomorrow. So if you want to be here for the walk and talk tomorrow morning, um, I will be heading into town because I've got to pick up some stuff, and I have somebody that sent me a product that I'm going to be reviewing, and it arrived on Monday, so I got to go pick it up. I got to go pick it up tomorrow, along with all my food that I ordered from Amazon. So we're going to be going in to do that. I'm not going to be trying to do too much in town. I just need to get in and get back. Um, and so in the evenings, what I'll do is we'll probably do a deeper dive into the news topic that I do. So I'll give you kind of like in a lot of ways, it'll be like a reaction opinion. Um, and the reaction opinion is what the video will be about, and then at night we'll do a deeper dive because I'll have more time to do more research on it, especially with this topic. I have a lot more knowledge because I've been paying attention to some of the stuff that's been going on, but in the future I may not be as knowledgeable, and so I need to have time to be able to do some research on it, but I need to be able to talk about it. So um let's say 3 videos a week, long form, and then 2 live streams a day. One with me working, and then one with us doing a deep dive into whatever subject I do. Type 1 if you like that, if you want me to do that, or 2 if you don't think that's a good idea. Okay. So, um, 1. Okay. Now, as time goes along, okay, when we start getting up to where we have a couple hundred people in chat, I might do a few nights a week where it's just members only chat. Oh wow. Hey, what's up, Adam? All right. Carlos won. Okay. So that means you guys are going to be here for it, or you're going to watch it post replay, because if you want me to do this, I'm counting on at least a few of you that are going to be really, really interested in. Wow. So many ones. You guys absolutely. So can you guys help me wrap my head around why you guys like watching what I did, like with my rock garden, or getting this thing ready? Like, what is it that interests you in it? Why? I I, I don't know. I'm not gonna get exhausted watching somebody else work. I might work up a sweat watching and be like, like, ooh. But I've never. I don't know. I watch lectures. That's what I do for fun. I'll probably watch it post replay. It's encouraging. Okay. What? Because those of you that know that I used to be homeless before I got this land 6 months ago. Um, and by the way, if you guys are looking for some inexpensive land, you guys should check out Stephanie at openairproperties.net. Tell her Friar Tuck sent you. No, I'm serious. If it wasn't for her, I probably would still be homeless, waiting for an opportunity to be able to find a piece of property. It probably would have taken me a lot longer to get a piece of property. Um, but if it wasn't for her. So those of you that are looking for something that's affordable and that you can actually get into and like use as your plan B, I mean, uh, it's definitely worth it. Weather's decent, no humidity. You're gonna get 4 seasons. You've got monsoons. There's like a 3 or 4 month growing season. But but she also has property in Colorado and Arkansas. So not just here in Arizona. And so reach out to her. Tell her Friar Tuck sent you. And Yeah, because honestly, even if she didn't give me a referral fee, because yes, I have to be open with YouTube bylaws and all this other stuff. I have to be open. I do get a referral fee for doing it. But even if I didn't get that referral fee, I would be saying something about it anyways, just because I believe in her. Because one of the things that really, and I say this a lot, but you don't, at least in my experience, and also being a business owner, you don't really get to see a lot of people now that not only take pride but have humanity, because a lot of people now, especially that get in business, it's all about how much money can I make? What is the highest dollar amount I can charge? And they forget that by charging the highest dollar amount, that's great, but they are cutting so many other people off from being able to have something as simple as a house cleaning or gutter work or something along those lines, or landscaping. Okay, because of the way that the market is gained, it's so when you find somebody that still has a heart, that is going to be your biggest cheerleader, um, that's the type of person you stick with. So, like I said, I don't I even if I didn't get any referral fee for it, I would still say something about it, just because I truly believe in what she's doing. And I know that she'll take really good care of you, like she's taking care of me. And you'll be really glad that you found her to do business with versus somebody else, because it could have been, I could have come across somebody that was shady, that was just in it for the money and all this other stuff, that didn't have any humanity in them. Um, that's, for me, that's a big part. But especially if you are a lower class, you're poor, you don't really have a lot of money, people that will have the compassion for you mean so much more than if you're rich and people have compassion for you. It's because they're hoping that you kick them down some money, because the motivations are completely different. So, but anyways, okay, and look at you, man. Keep on doing it, brother. Okay, entire country is going through a whole entire collapse again. Again. No, 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 no. Well, not again. Not again. This is like something that this is the end of America. Every other time we've made it through, but this may be the very end of America. It's cool to see what it looks like after. Nice. I like to watch other people work while I sit on the couch eating pork rinds. Dude, Adam, dude, you got to send me a bag of pork rinds, man. I'll sit there and eat them while I'm working. I like hearing you moan and groan like you're working. No, it sounds like I'm getting pegged if you don't know, if you're just listening from behind. Oh dear God. That's but you know what? These rocks, they're dense. They're not light. I promise you they're not light. Um, they're anything but light. They're a lot of these rocks that I'm picking up are twice as heavy as my backpack was when I was on trail. Uh, so I'll probably So it looks like we've got a wiener. Okay, so I want to say thanks for thank you guys for doing this. Yes, Rocky Horror Pegging Show. Oh my God, you guys. One day, you guys are gonna. I'm gonna repeat something you guys say, not realize what I said, and I'm gonna end up all of a sudden, next thing you know, live stream gone, channel gone, everything gone. Now watch. There's some like 10-year-old that's watching this. It's going up to mommy and go, "Mommy, what's pegging?" Yeah. That is funny as hell. All right, I'm glad somebody liked it. All right, that's good. But today's been a good day. I'm kind of getting acclimated. What's up with Trump starting the tariffs and then pausing them? Um, from when I heard that there wasn't a pause on the tariffs, that was misinformation. So what happened was the stock market did a nosedive. There was misinformation that that Trump put a 90-day pause on tariffs, and so the stock market shot way back up. And then later on, we found out that it was bad news. So basically, anybody that knew that was fake news, was able to get out without taking any losses. This would be just like when Baron Rothschild took over the Crown Bank of England during the Napoleonic Wars. For those of you that don't know the story, this is one of my favorite stories. So Napoleon was loose on Europe. It was this the Battle of Waterloo was the final battle, and it like Norway and Britain and I think Spain all had their armies together to take on Napoleon, to outnumber him. And uh, um, what was it? If he beat them there, that was the last stand for the European army, and he would have been completely loose on the continent to take over all of Europe and unify it. Now, the thing is that Baron Rothschild, which is the father of our modern day postal system, had carrier birds. And so these carrier birds took news from the battlefield and came back. Well, he knew that Napoleon lost, but he made it look like, because everybody knew he got information first, so they started watching what he was doing. And so what ends up happening is he makes it look, he goes out and starts saying, well, telling all of his brokers to go buy everything pennies on the dollar on the back end, because he knows in a couple of days when the news comes in that the bond market's going to shoot up, and now he took over the the Crown Bank of England, and that's how we got the Rothschild dynasty. Okay, well that's Rothschild dynasty. Okay, so for those of you that are into this conspiracy stuff, new freak, stay away from my bow. Don't get any. Okay, yeah. Well, hey, um, so I hear that I haven't looked into this yet, but these tariffs, another thing is, with these tariffs, they're going to be affecting drop shipping, because all these shirts, including the shirts and stuff like that that I order, and Trump just said no more, no more. Import exports to China from the United States. But you know what? This was after China sent back our beef. So they just, oh, it just wasn't up to our quality and sent it back. This is the China is in this for the long run. That he really is. They really are. And I think if we win, it is going to be a long fight, and we're going to lose a lot of friends along the way. So, okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to say thanks for being here. I will see you tomorrow morning on my walk and talk. And before I go, I want one question. So tariffs are on the thing. I don't want to talk about tariffs every night. Tonight, I'll talk about tariffs. We've talked enough about tariffs over this live stream and this morning's video that you should have an informed opinion on tariffs. Okay. So what is a news topic that you would like me to cover for tomorrow? What is something that is on the horizon, something that's breaking news that you guys would like to have my opinion on? That way I can, make sure that I'm putting out stuff that you guys really want to see, versus like me taking shots in the dark going, I wonder if I'll like this one. I wonder if they'll like that one. Because today Trump tariffs are the hot news, and it doesn't matter if you're in news and information, then you better be talking about the Trump tariffs. So yeah. Anyways, let's see here. I'm from the South. We still have a problem seeing the Yankee blue uniforms. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Did you watch my for those of you that are still here, if you watched the short that I put out today, I wonder how many of you actually got my humor with Yankee Doodle as the background music, as I'm saying what I'm saying. I thought it was kind of like my own little humor. I giggled at it. I was just wondering if anybody else got any giggle out of it. But anyways, guys, so let's see here. Educational programming here. Okay. Occult. Okay. Jesus Christ, son, what have you been through? Okay. What's up? And pausing it. Okay. Let's see here. Um. Night Rose. Okay, fantastic music choice. Yeah, yeah. If the inside joke for my community is this, I will put things in a video, and it will be my own humor, and you might be able to pick up on it, and I might even talk about it, but that way, as you see me do weird things, it's like this is kind of odd. This is his humor, whether you find it funny or not. Um, oh, hey, DJL, thanks, man, much appreciated. Um, uh, oops, oops, I can't give it a like. What the hell? There we go. No, there we go. Give it a love. Awesome. Thanks, DJ Elf. So, for those of you that don't know, I did an interview over on his channel. Probably about a week ago or so. It is up in the community tab if you guys want to see it. You should definitely go check it out. But anyways, DJ Elf, I want to say thank you very much, man. Much, much, much appreciated. That makes a big difference for me at this point. So, anyways, guys, so I don't have any topics. I will kind of try and keep it educational oriented. I think. Now I know nobody's going to want to hear this, but what if I talked about the AI war that's going on and who's actually winning? What do you think about that? So, but anyways, I will be reading the comments throughout the night because I know a lot of you will watch it in replay. Thanks for being here, guys, and I will see you tomorrow on my walk and talk.